computer audio. Om Jnanavirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupat Kadameham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutabadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyamadi Aschyatta Deshatarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Niti Namini Shrivar Shavanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhe Vishya Sambandha Vigyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumeswam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishtavas Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishtavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishayi Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupasvarupagam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surato Pangur Mamanda Mater Gati Matsarvasvapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Drundaranya Kalpadramada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Rashtralibhisse Vimano Smarami Sriram Sriman Rasarasarambhi Vamshivata Tatastitaha Garsham Veno Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyastamah Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are in the 14th verse and about to discuss our about the soul and super soul. Gyayam. Gyayam means object of knowledge. So what is the object of knowledge? The object of knowledge means the thing which is to be known, that is known as object of knowledge. So what I am supposed to know, that is known as object of knowledge. What are you supposed to know? Supposed to know the soul and the super soul. So object of knowledge number 1, the soul has been described in the previous verse. That is the 13th verse. Nyayam yattat pravakshyami yajñātvā amritamashnute anādi matparam brahma na sat tannāsad uchyate. That is Gyayam. What is to be known? That is, first one is the soul. where soul is being described as Anadi, Matparam, Brahma, Nasat, Nasad Uchate. 4 qualities are given here. It is Anadi, there's no beginning, and Matparam, which is always dependent on him, dependent on me, Matparam, always dependent on me, Krishna says the soul. And Brahma, it is eternal, so it is Brihat. Soul is also addressed as Brahman. Na Sattan Na Saduchate. It is beyond cause and effect. It's not a part of this material world, like the Vaisheshikas and Buddhists we all talk about. So now Krishna, he starts talking about the super soul in the 14th chapter, 14th verse. Sarvataha panipadam tat sarvato shiromukam sarvato shiromukam sarvataha shtimaloke sarvamavrta drishtati. So sarva sarvata panipadam. The super soul has pani pada. Pani means hands. Pada means legs. So the legs are hands and legs of the Supreme Lord, a super soul, is everywhere. Sarvataha panipadam. Sarvato akshi, he has eyes everywhere. And sarvato, everywhere, are his shiraha, head, mukham, his face. Sarvata shruti, he has ears everywhere. Malloke sarvam avritya tishtati. He is situated covering everything. Sarvam avritya tishtati. So this is the nature of the super soul, Paramatma. Now we should know this Paramatma is one in everybody's heart. It is not that 10 people are sitting in one room, there are 10 Atmas and 10 Paramatmas. Tad refers to Paramatma. And now we have this famous Purush Sukta, which says that Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwata Vritva Atitrishtadashangulam. So this Purush Sukta says,
hey Krishna, can anybody hear? I can't.
Thousands of eyes, thousands of legs he has got. So that is about Purusha Sukta, about Paramatma being described. So now we go to the next. Though he is one, he seems to be divided, but actually is not divided. He is one, Paramatma in everybody's heart. Like you have the sun, and you keep hundreds of pots of water. The sun is reflected in all the hundreds of pots of water. But that doesn't mean there are 100 suns. There's only one sun, which is reflected in hundreds of pots of water. So there's only one Paramatma who is in everybody's heart. Okay. Now, going further about the Paramatma, 15th verse says,
Prabhu, one doubt.
Yeah.
Prabhu,
Please ask.
exactly. There he
Yeah.
told that one face is there, eyes is there, legs are there, hands are there, but not body. What it resembles?
So
Why
he
he's
has
saying
transcendental eyes. He has got transcendental legs. He has got transcendental nose, transcendental senses. What to speak of the super soul? Even the soul has these things. Now you have a hand because there is a spiritual hand, and this material hand is a covering onto it. Like you have a hanger on which you put the shirt. And the shirt looks as if it is like a it has got hands and it has got hands and legs, but actually it's got hands. No, it doesn't have hands. It seems to having hand because there is a hand behind it. The same way, these eyes are there, there is actually an eye behind it. That is why there is an eye. In this way, the super soul has spiritual eye, spiritual hands, etc. Okay.
One more doubt. Yesterday class, Prabhu, you told that there are regarding you have told 19 points Vidya and remaining are Avidya.
Yes.
In where recently we went to Sandipani Ashram where Krishna has learned 64 arts. And
So 64
it was
hours are all avidya.
64 arts are
Avidya.
Avidya only. Okay.
Okay. Yesterday I was talking about, I think Dave yesterday was talking about it. Vedic material knowledge is called avidya. So the 64 hours come under the Vedic material knowledge. That's avidya. Okay.
Means we have to have Avidya and Vidya. Do both we have to have. To bodily
Yeah.
we have to Avidya, and for
Yes.
soul we should have Vidya. Like that, Prabhu?
Yeah. Like for example, you should have knowledge of Ayurveda so that you can keep your body fit and use the body in Krishna's service. That is Vidya. Like you should have the knowledge of making a nice garland, but using it in Krishna's service, that is Vidya. But making the garland itself is avidya. Isn't it?
Anything is used in Krishna service is Vidya. We are saying.
Now the process of using avidya in service of Krishna is Vidya. The process of using the avidya in service of Krishna is Vidya.
Okay, Prabhu. Right. Correct.
Like cooking is avidya. Okay? Offering is Vidya. Cooking is avidya. Offering is offering with love is the procedure of offering with love is
Vidya.
Bhakti. Your devotion.
Bhakti. Yes. Got it? So you go to the 15th verse. Sarvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam asaktam sarvabhruchaiva nirgunam gunabhoktucha. The Paramatma is made glorious, a very glorious person. Sarvendriya gunabhasam. Sarva Indriya, super soul, he is the source of all senses, gunabhasam. Sarvendra vivarjitam. He doesn't have senses. At the same time, he accepts. He doesn't have hands, but he still accepts. He doesn't have legs, but still he walks. Apani pado javano gritva pashyat achakshuhu. Pashyati achakshuhu. He doesn't have eyes, but he still sees. Shrunotya karanaha. Shrunoti, he hears, even though he doesn't have ears. So that is the speciality of Krishna, that he is having contradiction. Contradiction is the nature of Krishna. We discuss the Lord, that he has got limbs, mind, intelligence, etc. He has mind, intelligence, and at the same time, he doesn't have. And that is why asaktam sarabruchaiva. Sarabruchaiva means he takes care of everyone. He is sarvabruchaiva. So he is a maintainer of everyone. At the same time, he is unattached. He is unattached, at the same time, he cares for everyone. In this world, we are attached to somebody and still cannot care for that person. Still cannot maintain that person. The mother loves the child, but the death is written in the child's karma. She cannot do anything. She cannot maintain the child. But Krishna is unattached, at the same time, he maintains everyone. Nirgunam guna bhoktucha. He is nirguna. He doesn't have material qualities. At the same time, guna bhoktucha, he is the person who is the source of all the gunas. He is beyond the modes of nature. At the same time, he is having lot of gunas. Like guna is what? Guna bhati vikara jaranam ajanam. Like he has guna. He cannot just see. He is separate. He is experiencing separation from the gopis. He is crying in separation from the gopis. Because he is controlled by the guna, that is Bhakta Vatsalata. He is controlled by the love of his devotees. At the same time, Nirgunam is beyond the modes of nature. So all the qualities of Krishna, sometimes Krishna is very angry, but the anger is not from passion. Anger is transcendental. So in this way, the super soul qualities are described. So the unborn is born. One who doesn't have hunger, he feeds everyone. And that person becomes hungry. One who is Shantakaram, he comes as Narasimha. One who has the whole world in his stomach is bound by a small rope. One who cannot be caught by anyone is caught by Yashoda. One who is the source of everything, he's stealing butter. So this is how contradiction is there in Krishna. And this contradiction in Krishna is naturally harmonized. The speciality of Krishna. Okay. One of you can read the second paragraph of the 15th verse.
Bhagavad Gita also confirms that when the Lord appears, he appears as he is by his eternal potency. He is not contaminated by the material energy because he is the Lord of material energy. In the Vedic literature, we find that his whole embodiment is spiritual. He has his eternal form called Satchidananda Vigraha. He is full of all opulence. He is the proprietor of all wealth and the knower of all energy. He is the most intelligent and is full of knowledge. These are some of the symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the maintainer of all living entities and the witness of all activity. As far as we can understand from Vedic literature, the Supreme Lord is always transcendental. Although we do not see his head, face, hands, or legs, he has them. And when we are elevated to the transcendental situation, we can see the Lord's form. Due to materially contaminated senses, we cannot see his form. Therefore, the impersonalists who are still materially affected cannot understand the personality of Godhead.
Yeah. Bhairantascha bhutanam acharam charameva cha sukshmatvacha vigniyam durastam chantike chitat. Again, the same contradiction has been described here. Bhairantascha bhutanam, he is outside every living entity, he is inside also. So, but that is not possible by us. You are sitting in the house, but you cannot be outside the house. If you are outside the house, you cannot be inside the house. But Krishna is inside us, he is outside. Charam, acharam, evacha, he moves at the same time, he doesn't move. He is inside every living, moving and non-moving. And Sukshmatvat Avikneyam, he is very difficult to understand because of Sukshma, he is very subtle. Durastam is very far, at the same time very near. So this is the inconceivable nature of Krishna. What is the inconceivability? That the mutually contradictory qualities are simultaneously present in him. Like in the Ishopanishad, you must have heard this mantra, which says, Taddejati tannejati taddure tadvantike tadantarasya sarvasya tattu sarvasyasya bhahyata. Taddejati, he walks. Tannejati, the same time doesn't walk. Tad dur is very far, at the same time is very near. Tad Parantike. Antarasa Sarvasya is inside everything, at the same time is outside everything. That's Sarvasyasi Bhahyata. In this way, his contradiction is naturally presented. Okay. Here also the same thing. Vairantasya bhutanam charam charamevacha sukshmatva adigyam durastam chanti kechati. His dura at the same time is very near. As Paramatma is very near, Bhagavan very far. He is inside every atom as Shiradakshi Vishnu, Shiradakshi Vishnu. He is outside everything in the form of Karanadakshi Vishnu. Like that. He can only be known by senses. By bhakti. He cannot be known by the senses. Okay. Next. 17. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktim cha sthitam bhuta vracha tadgyayam krishnu pravishnu cha. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktim cha sthitam. Oh, you say, oh, God is in everybody's heart. So he's divided. He's not divided. Vibhaktim iva. He seems to be divided, though he's undivided. Though he's undivided, he seems and appears to be divided in every living entity. Like the sun seems to be in every part become divided. No, it is. The sun is one. It is undivided. Bhuta Bricha. He is the maintainer of everyone. And Tadgyayam Grahishnu Pravishnu Cha. He is maintainer and he is also the creator and is also the destroyer. Grahishnu Pravishnu Cha.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I want to ask one thing. As we are saying that Krishna walks and he doesn't walk. So walks like Bhagwan, Shyam Sundar. And if he doesn't walk, are we talking about Paramatma? Because Paramatma has a form. But Brahman, Krishna's effulgence. So are we talking about Paramatma here in this example or Brahman? Brahman.
Both.
Brahman.
Brahman. Brahman doesn't walk. Paramatma and Brahman are almost same. Paramatma is Paramatma for the soul. Brahman is Paramatma for matter. Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. Read the purport.
Can you please elaborate on this point of Paramatma and Brahman? Like, are you saying that how Paramatma sits in our heart, Brahman sits in the matter?
Yes. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. Whatever you see, it's all Brahman. It's all energy of Krishna. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. He's there in every atom. And like you have wood, you have iron. Both are atoms only. But iron has different quality and wood has different quality. Why? Why? Iron has different quality and wood has different quality. Because Krishna is there, manifesting his qualities as Brahman. Got it? Yeah.
But it is the same Krishna present in all the atoms. So how to understand these different properties?
Because Krishna is consciousness. He is conscious. He wants a particular thing to be like iron. He manifests these qualities like iron. Isn't it? Like for example, the same Krishna is in everybody's heart, but not everybody is the same person. Isn't it? Like that.
But for persons, we can understand that because as per their previous association of the material modes, previous karma, previous desire, therefore they are different. But the atoms, like in the metals, they are dead. They do not have any previous conditioning or karma. So
Krishna's desire. He wants iron to be like that. He manifests those qualities there. Want to be like that, he manifests. That is why the matter seems to be conscious, because there is consciousness in matter. That is Krishna as Brahman. Matter is not conscious, but it seems to be conscious because his presence. In every place, he's in every atom, he's there. And manifesting different qualities.
thank you very much.
Read the purport for the 17th verse.
The Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul. Does this mean that he has become divided? No, actually, he is one. The example is given of the sun. The sun at the meridian is situated in its place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks, where is the sun? Everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Also, it is said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence, just as the sun appears in many places to many persons. And the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity, devours everything at the time of annihilation. This was confirmed in the 11th chapter when the Lord said that he had come to devour all warriors assembled at Kurukshetra. He also mentioned that in the form of time, he devours also. He is the annihilator, the killer of all. When there is creation, he develops all from their original state, and at the time of annihilation, he devours them. The Vedic hymns confirm the fact that he is the origin of all living entities and the rest of all. After creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to rest in him. These are the confirmations of Vedic hymns. Yato va imami bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisam vishanti tad brahma tad vijnanasva. Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1.
Whenever somebody asks Srila Prabhupada, can you define God? Srila Prabhupada used to quote this mantra from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayam abhisham vishanti tad brahma tad vijnasasvat. So it's a mantra from the Taittiriya Upanishad. It says, Yato va imani bhutani jayanti. Imani bhutani, all the living entities, jayante, from whom everything manifests. And yena jatani jivanti, after being born, by whom they are jivanti, they are maintained. And prayant abhisham vishanti, yet prayanti, when pralaya happens, when all destruction happens, into whom everything enters into. So tad vijnasasva, tad brahma, that is Brahman. And you have to inquire into him. That is the Taittiriya Upanishad. Mruguvalli. Next, 18th verse. Jyotishyami tajyotis tamasa paramuchyate jnanam geyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam. So this Paramatma is hridi sarvasya vishtitam. He is sitting in everybody's heart. Now, he is Jyotishyami tajyotihi. Jyotisham, means sun, the source of all luminescence is sun, Jyotisham. All those luminescence means all like sun, wherever the light emitting quality is there, any object or any graha, any planet, he is that Jyoti. He is a source of light for all the luminescence objects. Tamasaha paramocchate. He is beyond darkness. Tamasa parastat. And he is Jnanam Geyam Jnanagamyam. Jnanam, he is knowledge. Jnayam, object of knowledge. Jnanagamyam, the Jnanagamyam, to be approached for knowledge. To be approached by knowledge. So all the knowledge has to be for the purpose of knowing Krishna, knowing Supreme Lord, knowing Paramatma in everybody's heart. So those who want liberation, they try to attain Brahman by the knowledge. And those who try to attain liberation, they try to approach Paramatma. And those who want to serve the Lord, they approach Bhagavan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, darkness of Krishna is beyond the darkness of matter. So we see that everything is in Krishna. We cannot say Krishna doesn't have this thing. So how to understand? We see the verse also that Jaha Krishna Vaha Nahi Maya Radhikar. So how to understand this, that darkness is not there? Krishna has everything.
If I have understood your question, is it like this, that if when Krishna is there, there is no darkness? So this material world is energy of Krishna. And that is being described as darkness. It is called tamas. Material world is tamas. Pradhana, energy of Krishna. That is tamas. He is tamasaha paramuchyate, is beyond darkness. So in the spiritual world, there is no darkness because Krishna is there. Now in the material world, now just see, this material world is material world for us, not for Krishna. From Krishna's point of view, everything is spiritual. In the material world, everything is darkness. But if you become Krishna conscious, then there is no darkness for you. That means there is no material world for you. Though you are in the material world, there is no material world, everything is spiritual because you are Krishna conscious. As much as for Krishna, there is nothing material. The same way for the pure devotee, there is nothing material. For a pure devotee, everything is spiritual. Because he sees matter as energy of Krishna. So when a person forgets that matter is energy of Krishna, that is called Maya. So this is what is my answer.
Thank you so very much.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, all the shlokas that we are discussing now, so this is these shlokas are describing the qualities of the super soul. So in one, and there are three levels of knowing Bhagwan, that as you just mentioned about Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So all these shlokas seems to be like they are the qualities of Brahman, the all pervasiveness of Krishna. So is this the right understanding? Because without Prabhupada's purport, it seems like. But Prabhupada relates everything to Krishna.
Now tell me, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, are they three different things?
No. The only thing is that the level of understanding is lesser in the Brahman, and then...
No. Not in the Brahman, no. When my realization is partial, then that realization is called the Brahman realization. When my realization of Krishna is partial, that is called Brahman realization. Brahman is not something, it is only one of the features of the Lord. It is not a separate entity, separate unit. All three are one. Those of you who have mobile or computer or Bhagavatam, first canto, open that verse. Vadanti tattvavidasattvam yajnanadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan shabdate. Second chapter, maybe around 9th or 10th or 11th verse, something like that. I am not very good in numbers. So read the first line of the purport. Who is computer savvy, he can do that.
Which verse is it?
Vadanti tattvavidasattvam. Number?
1 to 11.
11.
1 to 11.
Read the first line of the purport.
The absolute truth is both.
Yeah, read.
The absolute truth is both subject and object, and there is no qualitative difference there.
Read. Read the next line.
Therefore, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are qualitatively one and the same.
Okay?
The same.
They are qualitatively one and the same. They are one. So the problem is not with Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. The problem is with me. When I realize the absolute truth partially, that is called Brahman realization. When I realize my realization is limited, partial realization of the absolute truth, then it's called Brahman and Paramatma realization. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank
Yeah, next. 19. Iti kshetram tata jnanam pyeyam choktam samasatah madbhakta etad vijnaya madbhava yoga padyate. Iti kshetram, and this is called kshetra. In this way, he is concluding one part. He says, kshetram jnanam jneyam cha uktam. I have spoken it to you samasataha, condensed way, in a partial, in a summarized way. Madbhakta edat vijnaya, when my devotee, once he knows this thing, vijnaya, madbhava padyate, he attains my bhava. He attains bhava towards me, or he attains the same bhava of mine, that is spiritual nature of mine. Read the last paragraph. No, sorry. Last two paragraphs. Now to summarize.
Now to summarize, one may understand that verses 6 and 7, beginning from the Mahabhutani and continuing through Chetana Dhriti, analyze the material elements and certain manifestations of the symptoms of life. These combine to form the body or the field of activities. And verses 8 through 12, from Amanitvam through Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam, describe the process of knowledge for understanding both types of the knower of the fields of activities, namely the soul and the supersoul. Then verses 13 through 18, beginning from Anadi Matparam and continuing through Vidhi Sarvasya Vishtitam, describe the soul and the Supreme Lord or the supersoul. Thus, three items have been described: the field of activity, the body, the process of understanding, and both the soul and the supersoul. It is specially described here that only the unalloyed devotees of the Lord can understand these three items clearly. So, for these devotees, Bhagavad Gita is fully useful. It is they who can attain the supreme goal, the nature of the Supreme Lord Krishna. In other words, only devotee and not others can understand Bhagavad Gita and derive the desired result.
Okay, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Bhavapi Vikaramscha gunanschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. Now he talks about now Prakriti and Purusha, because Sankhya means he talks about Prakriti and Purusha. Yes. Somebody had a question? No. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Bhavapi. No, these two, Prakriti and Purusha, they are Anadi, beginningless. And Vikarams Gunans Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. And when they combine together, transformation and the modes of matter are the products of material nature. Their transformations and the modes of matter are all products of material nature. Next. Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti Ruchate Purusha Sukadukhanam Bhoktrutve Hetu Ruchate. So Krishna is now going to describe about Prakriti and Purusha. What is Prakriti and what is Purusha? Purusha doesn't refer to the Supreme Lord here, it refers to the living entity. The living entity. So read the purport of 21st chapter verse. Then I explain the translation to you.
The different manifestations of body and senses among the living entities are due to material nature. There are 8,400,000 different species of life, and these varieties are creations of the material nature. They arise from the different sensual pleasures of the living entity, who thus desires to live in this body or that. When he is put into different bodies, he enjoys different kinds of happiness and distress. His material happiness and distress are due to his body and not to himself as he is. In his original state, there is no doubt of enjoyment. Therefore, that is his real state. Because of the desire to lord it over material nature, he is in the material world. In the spiritual world, there is no such thing. The spiritual world is pure, but in the material world, everyone is struggling hard to acquire different kinds of pleasures for the body. It might be more clear to state that this body is the effect of the senses. The senses are instruments for gratifying desire. Now, the sum total, body and instrument senses are offered by material nature, and as will be clear in the next verse, the living entity is blessed or damned with circumstances according to his past desire and activity. According to one's desires and activities, material nature places one in various residential quarters. The being himself is the cause of his attaining such residential quarters and his attendant enjoyment or suffering. Once placed in some particular kind of body, he comes under the control of nature because the body, being matter, acts according to the laws of nature. At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. Suppose an entity is put into the body of a dog. As soon as he is put into the body of a dog, he must act like a dog. He cannot act otherwise. And if the living entity is put into the body of a hog, then he is forced to eat stool and act like a hog. Similarly, if the living entity is put into the body of a demigod, he must act according to his body. This is the law of nature. But in all circumstances, the super soul is with the individual soul. That is explained in the Vedas. Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.1 as follows. Dvasuparna Sayuja Sakhayaha. The Supreme Lord is so kind upon the living entity that he always accompanies the individual soul and in all circumstances is present as super soul or Paramatma.
Okay. So you have three terms here. Karya, Karana, Kartrutve. So what is the meaning of Karya? Karya means the body. Karana means that is the senses. Kartrutve means the material nature, which transforms into Karya and Karana. So the material nature transforms, makes it into different bodies and different senses according to one's karma. So the jiva is said to be the enjoyer of happiness and distress. Purusha sukhdukkanam bhoktritve hitruchyate. So the body is the transformation of Prakriti, and the experience which is by the body is actually not experienced by the body, but it is a Purusha. He is responsible for his happiness and distress because it is he who desires and he should enjoy. Hmm. So here comes the important philosophical point. And who is the Karta? Who does? There are three things: body, the soul, and the super soul. Who does? Body does. Now somebody goes and kills, and the police comes and address. He says, no, I did not kill. I did not kill. You see, we have the CC camera. You killed by the knife. Arey, why are you arresting me? I did not kill. The knife killed. Arrest the knife. No. How can he arrest the knife? Knife is unconscious. In the same way, actions are not done by the body because body is unconscious. The soul is also not responsible for action because he has nothing to do with matter. The super soul, of course, he is beyond matter. So why is he responsible for any actions? At the same time, the body is instrument. So instrumentality is the cause. But that is only cause only when there is the soul. The soul is not there. What kind of body it is? There is no point. There is no question of any consciousness without soul. Soul is responsible. And ultimately, without the super soul sanction, nothing can happen. That is how all the three are the causes and all the three are not the causes. Now, Purushaha prakritisto hi bhungte. Yeah.
I have a one stupid question, but I want to ask, like, as you were saying the example of a knife, so does it mean that mirror, knife, in fact, everything I see, that is unconscious, but seems to be conscious, the word you uses when you were explaining. So does it mean that everything, like door, everything, pen, book, of course, spiritual books, so they are, but a pen, mobile, everything seems to be like, it's like, means a pure devotee sees everything is Krishna or Krishna's energy.
Yes, yes. Stavara Jangama Deki Nadiki Tar Murti Sarvatra Sprutu Hai Kishtadevspati. When a devotee, pure devotee sees anything, he actually remembers Krishna. And he sees this energy of Krishna. And so how to engage this in Krishna service. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Purusha Prakritisto hi bhungte Prakriti Jair Gunan Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Guna Sangasya Sarasat Yoni Janmashu Purushaha, soul, Prakritistaha, it is in Prakriti, Bhungte, he enjoys, Prakriti Jair Gunan, he enjoys according to the modes of nature. And Karanam Guna Sangasya Sarasat Yoni Janmashu, because of this enjoyment and association the modes of nature, Guna Sangasya, Sat Asat Yoni Janmashu, they are living in it, gets different bodies. Long body, short body, fat body, thin body, dog's body, elephant body. All these different bodies are chosen because one's association of modes of nature. Sattva, Rajas, Tama. The more the tamasic association, the tamasic bodies like pigs and all you get, trees. Rajasic, the kind of human kind of body, mediocre bodies. Sattvic, the bodies of higher living entities, higher demigods, like that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In continuation of the question that Rukmini Mataji asked, so Prabhuji, when we gift something to Krishna for the temple and the devotees for our Guru Maharaj, wherever. So when we gift to them, then we for a person like me can understand that it is for the service of the divine and the servants. But there are many things which I use at my home. Just for example, so many times I cannot connect it that we cannot offer all the things to Krishna like we can offer our.
Give an example. What is the thing which which is there in your house at present, which you are able to see and not connect to Krishna?
Sorry, Prabhuji. So there are, let's suppose, shampoos, soaps. There are so many things that we cannot offer to Krishna, but we can bring when we bring gadgets or clothes. We can offer. So my question is that many times, quite often, I think that how can I relate it to Krishna because I don't have the Mahabhagavata's vision. So how a person like me can
Anukula sankalpa pratikula varjanam. Shampoo, you should throw it in the gutter, in the bathroom, in the toilet, because that is passion. You should use which are natural, Ayurvedic, herbal, by which you will maintain mode of goodness. When in mode of goodness, you can chant good. Mode of passion, you will not chant. Isn't it? So reject those things in mode of passion and ignorance and accept those things in mode of goodness. Things in mode of goodness, they give you better health, physical health, mental health, so that you can chant better. Everything has its utility in Krishna's service, but it is put in a positive, in a proper perspective. So you require things to maintain your body, which with your body you maintain your Krishna consciousness. So everybody's requirement will be different. One's requirement will be different from another requirement. For you, something may not be required. Other person may be required. So to progress faster in Krishna consciousness, one has to come to the platform of goodness. So one of the symptoms of goodness is that you have simple living and high thinking. So make all the list of the things which you don't require. Actually, many things you don't require. Just throw it or give it to somebody who requires. You'll be very happy. The more you progress in Krishna consciousness, you should learn how to live with minimum things, minimum clothes, minimum requirements. Actually, those things which you think you require, they are actually burden. It's burden only. Burden means it makes you anxious, how to maintain, how to keep things. Sometimes I go to somebody's house, they find so many chemicals kept in their shelf. So many chemicals. They are just chemicals. Soap, shampoo, toothpaste, all chemicals. You should use Dant Manjari, cow products. All of you see the video which I gave class on cow products in the Panjayabag temple. You go to YouTube and then type Panjayabag Kamalochandas cow. You'll get that video. So you'll understand how to use cow products. By using cow products, then you come naturally into mode of goodness. Okay, next.
From where we'll get this list that which is in mode of passion and which is more in mode of goodness?
Anything which is coming from cow is mode of goodness. Anything which comes from cow, pure desi cow milk is goodness. Buffalo is ignorance. And the packet cow milk, what you get, it is like, no, not even ignorance, it's chemical. Paneer, passion. Organic things, use organic things. Organic. Rice, dal.
Even sabji, dal.
Yes, all. Yes, use only organics. You may say they are very expensive, but they save a lot of your medical bills. Of course,
So
I will
Prabhuji,
get.
expensive is different thing, but sometime the packet says it's organic, but we don't know whether it's organic or the same dal they have put in that packet
You
also.
send me the list what you want, I will send. Pure organic, grown in front of my eyes. That's one of the research which I'm doing in Banaras and Varanasi. You must be seeing, I'm just sitting in Varanasi, one village. So came to get some organic good here. Of course, a few devotees are here. One of the devotees has got village here. So you're getting organic good made. So once I had come here during summer, then I drank a glass of Ganneka juice. When I drank, it is so sweet, it's so sweet. I like sweets, but actually that is so sweet that I had to dilute with water and drink. So this is all Gangetic plain, because Ganga flowing here. What grows here, so far wonderful. The sabji, the bhopla. They put rice here. There's rice paddy field here. They grow their own rice, and we are encouraging few farmers to grow rice, which is no chemicals, no urea. So here they have got cows here, because now they're inside. The cow dung, the gobar, they directly go to the fields. Directly go to the fields. Of course, we have to work hard on this.
Prabhuji, in my case, I'm staying in Middle East, in Qatar. So
You'll get there also.
even the vegetables are frozen. So what should we?
Whatever
we should
possible,
maintain?
at least cow products and kirana, you can get pure. Cow products and kirana you can get pure. Then that is guaranteed. Ghee, everything, what all you want. Let me know. We can send it to you for all your community there, whoever wants. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hare
Thanks.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, there are some medicines which doctor prescribed us to have if we are going with some major disease and it has a part of a non-veg element inside it. There is no option of organic one. So, and obviously
Which
it's like
doctor? Is Ayurvedic doctor or allopathy?
no, it's an allopathic doctor.
Allopathic doctor is not a doctor. Yamaduta. Allopathy is Yamaduta. You want to die, go to him, no problem. And go to hell and preach. No there.
No, Prabhuji, we don't want to go in hell at least.
You can preach there, no problem. Consult only Ayurveda. Corona has proved allopathy is not a science. It is not a science. It is only big cheating industry. Go to Ayurvedic doctor.
Hare Krishna,
Sure,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I heard one of your lecture in Punjabi Bagh temple only. So, and I started using cow products, but my skin is so like habitual of using another products that my long hair becomes so short and my skin becomes so dry. So in that case, I consulted my mentor that what should I do? So they said that you don't have any option. So how to my skin? We are. I'm too like of using these chemicals. So
Dry skin, it requires till coil massage. At least thrice a week. Apply oil. You can apply yourself till pure organic till oil. And then see. And after that you apply Upton. The oil should be soaked inside your pores, it should go inside your pores. So this is the thing which is a procedure which has been used by our grandparents. My grandmother gave me oil bath. People are not taking oil bath. That is why they are going crazy. Mental problems are coming. Prabhupada used to take oil bath every day, oil massage every day. Prabhupada used to take it. Why? Why used to take time pass? He has a lot of time. That is why he took an oil bath. He's the most busiest person on the planet, but still you need to show that he takes oil bath. And are we more busier than him?
My next question was, Prabhuji, like that if I spend so much time, that how would I manage my sadhana and services? So I got the
That's what
answer
I'm telling you. I knew that
Yes.
question would come.
Thank you.
Do you think we are more busy than Prabhupada? No.
Thank
Okay. उपद्रष्टानमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः. So directly Paramatma's activities has been described here. That is no, I have not done one verse. Purusha prakritisto he bhunte prakriti guna karanam guna sangasya. I'll explain that. Yeah. Upadrashtanamanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatme cha apyukto dehesmin purusha paraha. Now, Krishna in the previous verse he spoke about the jiva situated in the body, experiencing all happiness and distress. Now, the same body, the jiva is there, in the same body, Paramatma is also there, but he is a controller. He is not experiencing the happiness and distress, etc., etc. He doesn't get the bodies, different bodies according to his karma. There is no karma for the Paramatma. So, Upadrashta Anumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara Paramatme Chapyukto Dehesin Purusha Paraha. Different from the Jiva, Paraha, transcendental to the Jiva. He is Maheshwara, he is Paramatma, Parama Atma. Para means superior, Ma means no. That Atma who has nobody superior to him is known as Paramatma. He is Upadrashta. Upa, he is just looking at the Jiva. And Anumanta, he gives sanction. And he is Bharta, he is the maintainer. Bhokta, he is the possessor of the Jiva. He is Bhokta. Now, it has been already told that he is everywhere. But again, he talks about that the Lord is in everybody's heart. Paramatma chapyukto dehesmin purusha paraha. So many things about Paramatma have been repeated in this text. Ya evam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatah vartmanopi na sa bhuyo abhijayate. 24th verse. Ya evam vetti, one who knows what purusham prakritim cha gunai saha, one who knows purusha and prakriti, which is constituted of gunas. Sarvata vartamanopi nasa bhuyo nabhijayate. Sarvata vartamanopi. Though he is situated in the modes of nature, whatever may be his position now, he will not take birth again. So don't worry about what is your condition. When you have the knowledge of Purusha, Prakriti and Paramatma, so then there is no question of taking birth again. Next. Though he lives in the material world, doing all actions with the body, he is liberated. Now, what we are supposed to do to attain the Paramatma? What is the practice to attain Paramatma? Described in 25 and 26. Jnanenatmani pashyanti kechidatmanam anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. Jnanenatmani pashyanti kechidatmanatmanam atmana anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. There are some people who like to see Paramatma through meditation. Dhyanena Atmani Pashyanti. Some people want to see the Lord by Sankhya Yoga, that is Jnana Yoga, and some by Yogena, that is Ashtanga Yoga, and some by Karma. So in this way, 4 kinds of people, that is Dhyanena, Sankhena, and Yogena, and Karma Yogena. Anye tu ajanataha Shrutvanebhyah upasate. Shrutvanebhyah upasate. Te vichaditarantyeva mrutyum shrutiparayanaha. So this is recommended for us, 26th verse. So what we do, we just sit and hear on the topics of Veda, shrutiparayanaha, from qualified people. Hearing from those who have realized Paramatma, Anyebhyaha, they worship the Lord. Even they, from association, gradually understanding and practicing, definitely surpass death. So this is the position of those people who are very much foolish, but still they take up a simple process. And this is the most recommended process, that is for us, that is to hear. So this word particularly applicable to modern society. Prabhupada talks about it in 26th verse. Please read the purport of 26th verse.
This verse is particularly applicable to modern society because in modern society there is a practically no education in spiritual matters. Some of the people may appear to be atheistic or agnostic or philosophical, but actually there is no knowledge of philosophy. As for the common man, if he is a good soul, then there is a chance for advancement by hearing. This hearing process is very important. Lord Chaitanya, who preached Krishna consciousness in the modern world, gave great stress to hearing, because if a common man simply hears from authoritative sources, he can progress, especially according to Lord Chaitanya. If he hears the transcendental vibration, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It is stated, therefore, that all men should take advantage of hearing from their souls and gradually become able to understand everything. The worship of a Supreme Lord will then undoubtedly take place. Lord Chaitanya has said that in this age, no one needs to change his position, but one should give up the endeavor to understand the absolute truth by speculative reasoning. One should learn to become the servant of those who are in knowledge of the Supreme Lord. If one is fortunate enough to take shelter of a pure devotee, hear from him about self-realization and follow his footsteps, one will gradually elevate to the position of a pure devotee. In this verse particularly, the process of hearing is strongly recommended, and this is very appropriate. Although the common man is often not as applicable as so-called philosophers, faithful hearing from an authoritative person will help one transcend this material existence and go back to God and back to home.
Now, 27th verse. Yavat sanyayat ekanchit stavara tattvam stavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat tadvidhi bharatarshava. Yavat sanyayat ekanchit sattvam stavara jangamam. Whatever you see in this world, stavara, jangama, high, low, etc. It is nothing but kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat. So when kshetra and kshetrajna, that is a soul and material nature, they come together, then all the other things are manifesting. Tadvidhi bharatarashabha. Oh, the best of Bharata lineage, understand. When Jiva and Prakriti come together, then all the different manifestations, what you find, it is there because of that. Now, next, 28. Samam pasyan hi sarvatra samavasthitam ishwaram na hinyasatma atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. One who sees samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Parameshwara, Supreme Soul, the Super Soul, is present equally everywhere, equally present everywhere, in every living entity. Now, such a person will not degrade himself by his mind. Vinasyatsu avinashyantam. Nahinyas atmanatmanam tato yati paramgatam. Nahinyasi atmanam. He doesn't degrade his mind. Tato yanti paramgatam. Paramgatim. So he attains the highest destination. Next, 30th verse. Prakrityeva karmani kriyamanani sarvasah ya pashyanti tatmanam akartaram cha pashyati. Now, prakrityeva karmani. One who sees is a prakriti only which is doing everything. And kriyamane sarvasah ya pashyati tatmanam akartara. One who sees the soul as akarta, not the doer. The prakriti as a doer. Akartaram sapashyati. Ya pashyati sapashyati. One who sees this, that only matter is doing everything. I am not the doer. He is actually the intelligent person. He actually sees. Same verse it came in the 4th chapter where ahankara unatma. Ahankara unatma. One who sees Prakriti as a doer. He is ahankara unatma. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Ahankara unatma kartahamiti manyate. One who sees that karta aham, I am the karta, then he is actually foolish. Vishesha rupena muda, a special fool. 31st. Yada bhuta pratak bhavam ekastam anupashyati tata eva cha vistaram brahma sampadyate tata. Now, when a sensible man sees to see different identities, your different mental bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains the knowledge of Brahman. That means, Yada bhuta pratak bhavam ekastam panupashyati. Even though he sees a dog, a cat, an elephant, a demigod, a human, rich, poor, he sees difference in all this prakriti, pratak bhavam. But in that pratak bhavam, ekattam anupashyata. He sees that it's all nothing but the manifestation of Prakriti in different forms. It is earth, water, fire, air, ether in this person also, earth, water, fire, air, ether in this person also. It is only taking different forms, that's all. It is nothing but the transformation of earth, water, fire, and ether. Somebody is very beautiful, somebody is very ugly. Ultimately, both are made up of what? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligent forms. And that they arise from the same Prakriti, the time of creation. He realized the Atma. Now, anaditvam anaditvan nirgunatvat paramatmyam avyayah charirastopi kaunteya nakaroti nalipyate. So, those who have the vision of eternity can see that imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Again, the knowledge of soul has come. Atma. Anaditvam, number 1. Nirgunatvat, beyond all having material nature. Paramatmyatam, paramatmayam. Paramatmayam means he doesn't have any kinds of distinctions. Then Parama, beyond Atma, Ayam Avyayaha. Ayam Avyaha is Avyaya. Avyaya means there is no question any Vyaya or inexhaustible. Sharidastopi kaunteya na karoti na samapyate. One who knows the nature of the soul, even though he is in the body, even though situated in the body, then he is not bound by action. That means, based on the transcendental spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of soul, if you act, then even though you're acting, even though you're having a body, still you are not caught or conditioned. Nalipyate. Yatha, 33rd verse. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat akasham nopaliyate. Example is given. What is the example? Ether is spread everywhere, but it's not contaminated. Ether is everywhere, inside every atom. Like Paramatma is there, ether is also there. That is why Paramatma is compared to ether in many of the Upanishads. Yatha sarvagatam sausmyat akasham nopaliyate sarvata vartaman sarvata vastito dehe. Even though it is established in every deha, tatatmana nopaliyate. It's not contaminated because super soul is not contaminated, though it's situated in all kinds of bodies. Somebody may say, how is that the Jiva is in the body, the Paramatma in the body is not contaminated? Just like ether. The soul and the super soul have been compared to ether. Ether, though is everywhere, is not affected by the other elements. Ether is in water, but still is not wet. Ether is in fire, but it doesn't burn. Now, another verse. Yata prakashayatyekaha krishnam lokamimam ravihi kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakashayati bharata. Once you put a bulb in a room, the whole room is lit. Isn't it? The same way, the Atma is in the body and it is spreading the consciousness, which is spreading everywhere. Kshetra kshetragnayorevam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye vidu yanti te param. Kshetra kshetragnyor evam antaram jnanam chakshusha. Those who see the eyes of knowledge, the difference between body and knower of the body, can also understand the process of liberation from bondage of material nature and attain supreme goal. So in this way, the 13th chapter ends. Thus, one who knows the distinction between body and soul, body and super soul, body and body, soul and soul, soul and super soul. Antaram, jnana chakshusha, by the chakshu, jnana chakshusha. Bhuta prakriti moksham cha yad viduhu yanti te param. That means the process of liberation from bondage is material. Is attained to the simple goal. Attained to the supreme goal. So this is the end of the 13th chapter. So we stop here and then tomorrow we'll do the 14th chapter, the 3 modes of material nature. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Guruji, can I ask a question?
Yes, no problem.
Prabhuji, you mentioned yesterday that there are differences and there are similarities also. Or the relationship. You said the knowledge means to know the differences between these 5 and the relationship. So the differences part you mentioned, the different shlokas through which we can understand. So relationship means
Relationship means Jiva Swarupoya Krishna Nityadas. The living entity is a servant of Krishna. The material nature is energy of Krishna. And material nature is giving trouble to the living entity because that is not a place for the living entity to stay. That is why Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhungte Prakriti Guna Karanam Guna Sangasya. These are all relationships between these three.
Okay. Prabhuji, while you were explaining the Shrutis, Smritis yesterday, you mentioned, I was noting all the things. There were some two words, Vaisheshika, or Vishesha, regarding something I cannot catch where I have written.
I told about Shat Darshanas, 6 Darshanas.
Yes, Prabhuji.
In that, there are 6 Darshanas, 6 systems of philosophy are Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamamsa, Uttarvimamsa.
Sorry, Purvamamsa, the last 2 words I couldn't catch.
I will WhatsApp one notes called Vedas. In that you get all these things. I will WhatsApp to Hari Sevani Mataji and she can send it in your group. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji, you have very rightly and make us understood that we should always be in the mode of goodness. And quite often I think that Prabhupada also mentions and senior devotees as well. So, but in the life, in the midst of all the the things where we are getting everything in the mode of passion and goodness, though we are trying to get cow milk, cow products, or like the ghee and all, oil and everything. But there are something that, like Hari Sevani Mataji said, that though it's organic is written, but it's not organic, and that you also mentioned that we can go through your site. So, Prabhuji, and the very important thing that you mentioned, that we should keep the load as lighter as possible, keep the burden, and that's very important. Actually, I'm trying to work upon this thing, but I'm failing. So from your inspiration, I will try to work in my last breath. Prabhuji, you mentioned that the doctors are in the mode of ignorance. The allopathy is in the mode of ignorance. But we see that the devotees take the treatments, allopathic treatment. There are so many diseases. We cannot avoid it. That cannot be cured by homeopathic or Ayurvedic. But they are going and they are taking treatments, and that's a need of our. So how to understand?
See, the situation has been created by the British. 25 lakh Ayurvedic acharyas were killed. They were hanged on the trees by this one act called the Magic Remedy Act, which included Ayurveda in it. Anybody who recommends anything according to other than allopathy, which comes under the Magic Remedy Act, is that person will be hanged till death. The situation was so bad that Ayurvedic doctors were brought to there's no question of any trial, there's no question of any court, nothing. Just take them to the jail, put them, hang until death. That was the rule made by the British. So they had no place in the jail to hang them. So they hanged them on the trees outside the villages. 25 lakh. Not people. They were Ayurvedic acharyas. So that the Christian missionaries who brought their medicine, built hospitals and schools, their hospital should be filled. Nobody went to the hospital because Ayurvedic doctors were there. And then they discouraged Ayurveda to such an extent that now we find doctor means allopathy. And they named now as Ayurveda alternative medicine. Actually, that is medicine. And allopathy is not even an alternative because it's not based on any science. It has no science. When you go to a hospital and ask the doctor, how is my mother? He says she's in ICU and she has she's unconscious. You ask the doctor question, can you tell me what is unconsciousness? What is conscious? Can you answer it? So he's speaking something he has no idea about. Can you ask him what is life? He's treating life. He's not treating the body. He's actually treating life. But he says, I'm treating the body. He has no idea what is life. You ask question, what is life? Can you tell? And that is where the Bhagavad Gita starts, isn't it? And Ayush means actually Ayush. They have an idea what is prana, what is. They have an idea about it. So it's science. Just because we have the British degraded and they made us degrade and then consider this Ayurveda as a fiction, that doesn't mean that allopathy becomes science, and it's our responsibility to revive and then bring people's faith. And Corona has done it very much. Okay, these are subject matter, 13th chapter. Of course, we should know these facts. Stop here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.